And in the meantime, let's go to problem of the day. Whew, that's good. Tanner received $2,000 in gross pay. Now that sounds like a lot. That's a monthly payment, we'll say. After losing about 40% to deductions, that means taxes, maybe his insurance, maybe other things that they take out of his paycheck, Social Security, all those great things, he will use $450 for rent and utilities. And then he'll do 10% for food. How much is left after all this good stuff for other expenses? Wow. All right, so we're starting this guy with $2,000 gross pay, which sounds like a lot. I mean, $2,000 isn't shabby, it isn't. But when you're out there on your own and you're paying and you're taking care of all these things, you realize, oh my goodness, you do realize something is going on. You don't get $2,000 in that paycheck, right? So after you lose 40% deduction, that's a minus. You're going to also use about $450 for rent and utilities. That's probably if you're sharing. That's probably if you're sharing with someone. Because if you are doing that all yourself, it's probably going to be more like $800 to $900, maybe even $1,000 easily if you're doing one of those one bedrooms, or not necessarily an efficiency. But anyway, get rolling on it, Ernie. I know, tell the story here. And then 10% for food, that might be, well, that's 10% of what? That's 10% of the $2,000 gross pay is what we have in mind. So let's take a look at what's going on here. It's really just a lot of arithmetic, but sometimes we get a little bit nervous about percentages. So let's just do something here. Let's take it here. We're going to say we started off with $2,000. Here you go, Tanner. Start with your $2,000. Unfortunately, you're going to lose 40%. Now, how do we do 40%? How do we take 40%? We make it into a decimal. 40% is going to be, move that decimal 2 places. So we're going to say that's going to be like 4/10 times your 2,000. Now, keep thinking with me here. You're also going to use $450. That's going away. That's expenses. And one more item. How about it? We're going to take away 10%. We're going to change that to a decimal. We'll say 1/10 times 2,000. What we want to know is, what does all this give us? All right, how much money is left over? It's a lot of arithmetic. Now, some of you have seen me work these percentages with proportions. That's fine, you can do this. But when we've got like a 40% or 20% or 30%, something like that, we can just go ahead and change that to a decimal and multiply it through. That makes this move a lot quicker. Just like if we were looking for tip, for tax, those kind of things, we'd be taking the percent of. Works really well. So let's start off with our 2,000. And if we put a decimal, we take 4/10, and boy, our decimals are going to be important. We're going to look at that a little bit today here. This is going to take you down to, wow, looks like about $800. And those of you out there who are watching, our adults who do these, your paychecks, you say, yes, they take a lot out of deductions, especially between taxes and, especially if you got those little fees, a little of this and a little of that. Before you know it, you have lost about 40%. Now, 450, that's going to stay just like it is there. All right, 450. Now we're going to also take 1/10 times that. That's going to be another $200 we take out of there. I'm beginning to wonder, is he going to have anything left? All right, let's see what happens. I'm going to go to the calculator on this one. All right, let's pick up 2,000. And we're going to start with it out here. Here goes the game. Minus 800. Let's go ahead and subtract some more. 450, and let's subtract 200 and see what happened with that puppy. We still have some money left. All right, Tanner, you got $550 left over. Now, what I want us to think about, here, what if we take and decide we're going to start with 2,000. Just write it a little differently. You know me, I like to look at a problem from a different standpoint. And let's suppose I put in a big parenthesis here, we're going to take 0.4 times, what was it, 2,000, yeah. All right, or 4/10. We're going to still put 450, and you say, Ernie, why'd you put a plus there? Because what we're going to do, we're going to group all the expenses together and add them together, and then subtract and see, do we still get the same amount? We should. And then one more deal here. Let's go ahead and say that we're going to take and add 200. And we're going to put that in a big bracket with a big minus out in front. Because what that would say is that tells me that we could distribute that 1 through here. We could distribute that 1 through each part, and that's going to be a subtract, subtract, subtract. Now, what did I do here? I just individually subtracted each piece. Here we can add them all together, which we do a lot of times. We add all those expenses, and let's see what happens. Well, you've got what you had, 800 plus 450, and you had 200. So let's take a quick look back on the calculator. We're going to go a different approach. We're going to say 800. Instead of minus at this time, we'll say plus 450. And then plus 200 gives us 1450. So we're going to take our 2,000 and we're going to subtract 1450 from it. And you know what? We still get, Tanner, didn't help you any. Sorry, buddy. Thought you might save some money this way. Absolutely, we knew you weren't going to save some money because we just wrote it in a different manner. But a lot of times people ask, well, could we have added all the expenses together and then subtracted them from 2,000? Exactly, that's what we did there. Could we have gone and subtracted them individually, piece by piece, like we do in a checkbook usually? Oh, there's the next total, there's the next total, next total. Yes, we could. So either one of those gets you where you're going. 2 ways to get to our final answer. The way I interpreted that was $550 was what you should end up. I hope that gets him through those other expenses because he's still got a, maybe has a car payment, maybe has insurance. You start thinking, oh man, it's just talking about rent and it didn't even talk about a car. So all those other things do pop up. So problem of the day, there you go. Be on the lookout. This is the real world and sometimes it just isn't real pretty.